I'm here with Naomi, the partner of Nir, who died in January 2024, serving and protecting our country, studying speech pathology, an incredible person. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So I want to go back to a place that's difficult. The moment you found out that Nir passed away, that Nir was killed, where were you, what happened, and how were you feeling?
I was in my house, our house, in Givatayim. At 9 p.m., Nir's mom, sent me a text. She asked why Nir's not answering, what's going on, and then I told her he's in a mission, in the reserve, so he should be out by tonight. Because I knew he was in Gaza that night. He was supposed to get out by the sundown, but I was I was also worried, but I didn't know where he was, but I didn't want to worry her, so I told her everything's good, he's gonna be out soon. And then she sent me a picture that she lit a candle for him, and that's it. That was at 9 p.m. And then I went to sleep. I tried to go to sleep at 10, 11 because the next day I was supposed to get up at 5 to go to school. And then at 1 a.m., I think, maybe a little bit before, I got a knock at my door. I still didn't think anything of it. I hoped it was the neighbor or something, asking something. And then everything was dark. I opened the door and I saw my mom. Next to her was a casualty officer and my dad and Nir's cousin and his wife. And then I asked my mom, what happened? And then she said, Nir died. And then I walked to the living room and I fell to the floor, started crying. Yeah, that's the story. Then Nir's cousin took me to Nir's parents' house, where I was the whole Shiva.
What happens in that moment when you collapse, when you cry? What's going on in your mind?
I still didn't believe it. I don't know if I believe it now either, but I really didn't believe it then. I thought it was a bad dream, or I don't know. He was gonna pop up and say, just kidding or something. I really didn't believe it. So I didn't know how to act.
And then the funeral and the Shiva, what was that experience like for you?
That was hard. I didn't eat or drink anything the whole week. I don't remember anything from the funeral. I remember I talked. I have what I said written down, but I don't remember anything of it. I remember there were a lot of people, that's it. And also the Shiva, thousands of people came the whole week, and I remember people trying to talk to me, and I didn't even hear them. I was out of it completely.
And then after that period towards the Shloshim and the entire first year, when did you sort of come back into your body, so to speak? When did you sort of feel that awareness again?
After the Shiva, the same day we ended the Shiva, me and his family went to other Shivas of his unit that also died. They were 14 in the same unit. So we did what Nir would have done and went to the others that didn't end already. That was a day and a half or 2 days, and then I got COVID, so I had to go back home. So ever since the day I got back home, I was just at my house crying all day. I didn't let anyone in.
This was alone, literally by yourself?
Yeah, alone.
And you didn't let any friends, family there?
No one. Everyone wanted to come. Everyone tried. Friends even came to my house. I let them in for a minute, and then I told them to leave. Yeah, so
Was that healthy for you? Did you need to just be alone?
I think so. I needed it, like the whole Shiva and all that week was full of people and talking, and I just needed to be alone and think about everything by myself, grieve by myself. Um, yeah, so
Who was the first person that you then sort of let into your space?
I stayed in that apartment, our apartment, until the end of the lease in September. So like 7 months, I think. And the whole time I didn't let almost anyone in. The only person that came in was the casualty officer, like my casualty
Person
officer,
coming.
that like she helps me and stuff. And like two friends of Nir. And a week before I left the house, I just told his family that they could come see the house because they wanted to come and see the space before I moved out. Those are the only people that came to my house that period of time. And then I moved to a different apartment. So
Did that move? Because people grieve differently. I've spoken with other people who needed people around, and you're exactly the opposite.
yeah,
When you moved from that house to another house, was it a shift in your grieving process or in how you sort of coped with this?
I think so. It helped me to get out more and want to do different things that I didn't before. Like in the apartment, the first one with Nir, I saw he was home 2 days before he died, so all his things were like scattered around, like he left them. Like the towel was left on the hook, and his slippers were like on the floor somewhere, and I didn't touch any of it.
For
Like
the entire
nothing
period?
for the entire period until I had to pack. And also that everyone wanted to help me pack and stuff. I didn't let anyone help me. I did it all by myself.
What was the experience like putting away those slippers, taking that towel that's been hanging there for months at a time?
That was hard. Also, changing the sheets. I waited like 5 or 6 months before I could do that.
Do you think you just wanted to hold on to what
Yeah,
was?
maybe he would come back and I would be like, oh, look, I didn't even move anything. Because I knew he would come back, but no.
There was a part of you that still thought he would.
Yeah.
Wow.
Until now, like I always like think, oh, maybe he'll come back.
And how do you ever think like, I'm just tricking myself, or do you?
Yeah, I know he won't come back. I know I don't.
But there's still that hope and that desire.
I don't believe in any like religious thing that he might come back one day. I don't, but like it would be good if he would. But
What is what helped you go through that period? Did you have therapy? Were there certain friends? Were there certain activities? Like you're now in a different place, so
Yeah.
you've come all the way to sit here with me, which we're so appreciative of. How have you come to the place that you can have this conversation?
At first, I tried going to therapy, but I didn't like it, so I stopped after a few times. I think what helped me most was being in my grief, being home, not doing anything, not listening to other people that said, you should get out, you should do that, you should, like, no one knows what I should do.
Except for yourself.
Except for myself, and not even myself. I didn't really know, but I knew that I wanted to not do anything, and I didn't work. I didn't do any schoolwork. I didn't do anything. I just stayed at home.
What did you do all day for months?
I tried watching TV. I couldn't even like sit down and watch TV. My mind would just like think of other
So sometimes
things.
you would literally just sit and think?
I would just sit and look at the wall. I would cry. I didn't even eat for a long time. Yeah, and also a thing that helped me was after the Shiva, I wanted to go like on vacation. So I booked a vacation to Thailand with Nir's sister and her husband and another friend of ours. So we went, the four of us, to Thailand for a month in March of last year or April, I don't remember. And I saw that like that helped me a little bit. So right when I got back, I booked another trip to the States. So I was there by myself. I didn't want anyone because I wanted to be like free to do whatever I wanted. So I just traveled alone. I went to Hawaii and Los Angeles.
And that helped you in the process?
That really helped me. I feel like since I got back from that trip, things are a little bit easier.
And tell me about Nir, the person that you loved, the person that you spent that part of your life with. Who was he? What made him special?
He was 29 years old. He, like 2 weeks before he died, he finished his degree in electrical engineering. He worked at Samsung as an electrical engineer. The most important thing for him was the country and defending the country. Every year he was a month or two in the reserves. Like since I knew him, like sometimes I would ask him, "What, the country is more important than me?" And he would say, "Yeah, the country is the most important thing like ever."
How do you feel about that, hearing that kind of thing?
I was angry at him when he said that, but now I realize that that was him, and I think that's beautiful.
Value to have.
Yeah. He was very humble. He never told anyone what he does or like thinks, or like he didn't want anyone to feel less. So he would do all this like quietly. Yeah.
And what were things you loved to do together? What were the memories that make you smile?
We loved to cook. We cooked a lot. We loved watching TV together. We went to a few trips in Israel and also abroad. We went to London to the Coldplay concert.
And now that he's not here, are there any sort of things that bring up like a particular memory, or is there any moments in the day or the week or the month that you feel like you wish he was here in like a very specific way, or brings back a sense of that?
Yeah, all the time. It happens when I don't even think about it. Sometimes when I eat certain foods or go like past a restaurant that we used to sit at a lot, or like watch something that I want to send him but I can't.
I can't get out of my head that you got up from the Shiva and in the next day and a half, he died with 14 other people.
13
other
yeah.
people. He was one of 14. You went and took the time when it was so hard for you to even leave your own house to go and be Menachem Avel, to go and to his friends' families. What was that experience like for you?
The one who I think pursued it was his mom. She said she wanted to go, and she told us that we could come with her if we want. So we all went, me, Nir's dad, and Nir's sister. For me, it was hard. We went to, I think, 7 or 8 others, Shivas, and then we went to see one of them who was really injured. He was like critically injured in the hospital. It was hard for me, I think, to see other people going through the same thing was traumatizing. I was kind of out of it when we went there. I was like sitting and crying by myself, but I know that that's what Nir would do, want us to do, so I went.
What would Nir want you to do now?
He actually told me what he would want me to do. Like 2 weeks before he died, we were in the car, and he looked at me and he said, "Naomi, if I die," first he said, if I were a hostage, if someone took me to Gaza, don't release me. I don't want any terrorists coming out because of me, so keep me there and just go forward with your life. And then he said, if I die, I want you to grieve for like 2 weeks and then forget about me, like
Move on.
find someone, move on, get married, be happy.
Do you think you can fulfill those words?
He told me after 2 weeks, so that
That's
didn't happen, but maybe it'll happen. I think it will. I think a lot of people, a lot of widows can feel like they're cheating if they're like, they don't have the support, like they don't know what he would say. But in my case, I know that like what he said, I know that's what he wants.
I think it's a lesson for all of us to almost never ever, God forbid, expect or anticipate or prepare for anything like this. And no one should ever go through what you went through. But at the same time, in relationships, to give permission, to be open, to share. Because it sounds like what he shared with you has guided you in so many different ways and so many different things you do.
Mm-hmm.
What, you said he died, one of 14 people. What happened? What was the last moments of his life?
The whole unit went, it was 21 people that died, but 14 from his unit.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. They went into a building, or I think it was like 2 buildings, to put explosives in the building, and then they were supposed to get out, and then they were supposed to explode, and the whole building was supposed to collapse. What happened was they put the explosives in the building, and then I think it was like 5 or 10 minutes before they were supposed to get out, a terrorist came from like behind a tree or something, or a building, and shot an RPG at them. So the whole explosives exploded with them inside. So 21 soldiers died.
Wow. And each person is an entire world, and Nero is an entire world. Was there anything difficult about 21 people at once, or was there a sense of comfort? How do you feel about that?
Of course, it's not fun, like knowing a lot of other families were destroyed like ours, but I think it was a little bit comforting that he wasn't the only one, that there was nothing anyone could do that could prevent him from dying. Like, it wasn't a situation that
Could have been stopped.
it could have been someone else instead of him. Like, it was everyone. So that's a little comforting, knowing that nothing anyone could have done could have stopped that from happening.
You're a young, amazing person, walking in the streets, studying, going through your life. How do you want people to relate to you? Is there anything that's like annoying when people say or do? Or is there anything you'd rather, do you want them to just treat you like anything else? Is it nice if you get a WhatsApp message saying thinking of you before a hug? How do you feel about these things?
It depends. I would want people to treat me like normal, but at the same time, like, remember, like, that I'm not normal, and I don't know.
Treat you like normal, but with
Sometimes
sensitivity.
it's fun getting the messages, and sometimes it's not. So I don't know.
It depends who it comes from and at what time.
Yeah.
So you can't really predict.
No.
So other people should just be sensitive, be there for you, and be normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's a message you think that he would want to share with the world? Like, seeing where we are today, what's a message that you think Nir would want to share?
I think that when he was alive and he would come back from the reserves up until he died, he always would be frustrated and angry, and he was sad that the Jewish people are not united. He would come back and see all these posts and TikToks and things being said that are like hatred against one another. And in his unit in the reserves, they were like, the whole unit was combined of like religious people, very religious people, a little bit less, non-religious at all. There were even 2 Christians and 1 Muslim, like, and they were so united together, like they didn't care what, like, the thoughts of others, and they just loved one another. And he said, like, if in that space, like, we could all be united, why can't, like, the whole people of Israel, why can't they be united like we are? And we're, like, very different. They have very different political views, but they all want the same thing, to defend the country, and they care about the country and the people, and that's what led them. So I think that would be his message to the world.
Makes me even more sad because there's 21 people that were living the way that we all should.
Yeah.
And they all lost their life together. But we should live for what they died for. How do you think we can do it? How do we get people to just wake up and unite and be there for one another?
I don't know. I think every person should just accept the other. Like, I don't think people should fight and argue and always like try to put yourself in another person's shoes. Try to understand where they're coming from. You don't have to agree with everything everyone says, but just like accept it and move on. And like, you can be friends with everyone. Doesn't matter where they're from or what they think or anything.
Did you think this before, or was something with Nir helped you come to this, or both?
Both. I think I thought about it before, but now it's like a lot more, like I see it clear now.
Do you want to make this part of your life going forward? Like, would you want to be involved in initiatives or even in small ways try and bring unity to people? Or do you feel like it's just something you'll take on for yourself as an individual?
I think it's something I'll take on for myself. I tell it to people that I meet. I try to like encourage it, but I don't think I'll be doing anything extravagant with it.
I think by you being you, you're doing that because you're encouraging and inspiring us all. Is there anything else you want to share? An anecdote, an idea, a memory, or something that comes to mind?
A few days before Nir died, he told me, Naomi, I want you to know if anything happens to me, that this is the peak of my life. I feel worthy and I feel that I'm meaningful and I'm doing something important. I'm defending my country. I want you to know if anything happens that it's the peak of my life so far and I'll be good, like, if anything happens.
Did you feel like it's strange that he's telling you that if I die this and telling you that if I die that?
And it's not all, like, there were a lot of instances that he told me stuff.
Do you think he had some
I don't know.
awareness?
People, the religious people told me that the body knows like 40 days before. I don't know, but I don't know if I believe that. But it's really weird.
I'm saying, whether you believe it or not, it's like hochacha.
Yeah.
You sort of felt something there.
Yeah, it's weird. He told me all these things, but yeah.
And do you still keep photos up of him and these types of things?
Yeah, of course.
And is that hard to walk past? Does it make you smile? Or how
sometimes it makes me smile. Sometimes it's like sad, but...
Wow. Well, thank you so much for this conversation. I really meant what I said. You're an absolute inspiration. It's not easy. We're here for anything. But ultimately, you know, Nir's life is really a life, not just that he felt that he hit his peak and he was happy and meaningful, but us that didn't even know him can see what meaning is, can see what true values are, see what important things are. And through you, see that light continue. So Yehi Zichro Baruch, may his memory be for a blessing.
Thank you.
Thank you.